some therapists and healers are gonna hate me for saying this, but there is a very dirty secret within the healing industry that I'm sure for all of you healers and therapists in my audience right now who are very good at what you do, you are probably going to agree with me because the healing industry has zero incentive for you to have an exit strategy in your healing journey. Because the longer you stay in healing mode, the longer you stay a paying client. Now, therapists and healers are absolutely incredible at helping you process your pain. But here's what they don't do. They don't teach you when to actually exit the process and step into a real world transformation, which is why you're doing the healing in the first place. If healing actually worked the way you've been told, you would have found that it's working by now. But I see this all the time. And today, I really want to talk to you guys about the codependent nature between healers and therapists and their clients. Because at some point, healing stops being about the transformation and starts being an excuse. Let's expose this because I've seen it in some of my friends. Oh, I know some of you may have that friend who's constantly going to every healer, every therapist. They have like five on speed dial, at any given moment, and they're just jumping into appointment after appointment after appointment. Codependency in this healing space is one of the biggest traps that actually keep people stuck. And it's why they don't see the progress of actually exiting, having a transforming event in their life where their reality starts to actually mirror the healing work they've been doing. So it's not just clients who are actually getting codependent with their healers and therapists. It is also therapists and healers getting codependent with their clients, okay, to keep them in the process. And I'm going to talk about this. Listen, I don't think that most healers and therapists are doing this consciously, okay? I think most healers and therapists go into the work that they're doing because deep down they want change. They want to help others, right? At some level, they've been able to help themselves or they see the work that they've done, whether it's through traditional methods or unconventional methods, and it's working for them and they want to help others. I truly believe that at the bottom of my heart, okay? But let's face it, healers and therapists are some of the most effed up people as well. They're screwed up. I hear this all the time. I can't even tell you how many different dates I went on with different guys when I was actually still in the dating process of they would freak out when they found out I did healing and coaching. And I don't blame them, to be quite honest, because if I look back at myself way back, like in my 20s and in my early 30s, I was a bit of a mess. Okay. So, depending on where you're catching your healer or therapist in their journey, and depending on where you are in your journey, as long as your therapist and healer is at least 5 steps ahead of you, okay, you're probably in okay hands. But there is a codependent nature, and I want to talk about it. We're going to expose that today, okay? Because the client therapist relationship can be just as codependent and toxic as any other relationship out there. And I see it happening both ways. So let's talk about the client who can't function without their healer or therapist. And no ego here. Let me know in the comments if you're like, "Ooh, Nicole, I kind of landed with that one." You're stuck in a codependent healing loop if you don't trust yourself to make decisions without running them by your healer or your psychic. Huh? I tell me, I know I've been there. You feel off or ungrounded the second you miss a session. You keep finding new blocks that always seem to require another round of healing. At this point, is healing actually empowering you? Or, listen to this, are you outsourcing your own ability to move forward? because you didn't start healing to become dependent on someone else's permission to evolve. There are a lot of ways. I have actually had to fire clients who started to exhibit a codependent nature with me. They always wanted me to answer this question, or they couldn't run anything by. And I could tell that they weren't actually doing the work after our sessions, but they were trying to say the things they thought I needed to hear to believe they were doing the work. You can't, you can't do that to a healer or therapist and think they're not going to pick up on it. Come on. Plus, I dated a sociopath who was a like compulsive liar. Okay, so for 3 years in my 20s, so I can pick it up like this. Okay, you can't. Most therapists and healers will too. All right, so there is there is an absolute responsibility, and please, for all my healers and therapists in the audience who understand this, you know it is not beneficial for you or your client if you start to see that your client is exhibiting that kind of behavior. Now, it doesn't always just fall on the client, because if the therapist realizes it, but they still keep you there, be very careful, because that's not ethically great on your end for the healer or therapist. All right. I've seen it on my end and I cut ties. We have a little heart to heart first. I'm not just going to like cut you out to sea, but I'm like, hey, listen, but if it's not landing and it keeps persisting, then yeah, I'm not here to work with people who just want to look like they're healing and need someone to make all the decisions for them in their life. Now, we also will see the healers and therapists subtly keep clients in a cycle, right? So let's just be real about this. Most healers aren't actually invested in your breakthrough if they believe that you need to keep doing the work. And I want to make this very clear. The healing journey, your healing journey should have an exit point. Okay, there should be an off ramp to your healing journey. Now, you're working on something specific. There's a reason in your life that something's not changing and you want it changed. And so you're doing all this healing work because that's likely what's inspiring you. But if you are doing all this healing work and you're still not seeing the results that you want, it's not it's not you necessarily, it's your strategy. And if your therapist and your healer are not giving you an exit strategy, guys, I would start questioning if you want to keep working with them. In fact, I'm going to say this. Healers and therapists are going to hate me for this one. I I challenge you at your next healing session to ask your therapist, what is our exit strategy for me in this moment? Do I have an exit strategy for my healing path with you? Because if your therapist looks you dead back in the eyes like a deer in headlights, oh, you've been spending your money very unwisely. All right. So I've seen it firsthand, right? Where clients who are actually ready to exit, okay, the process, the healing process, but their therapist convinces them they just need a little more time. They're not ready. Oh, we can't move too fast. If I had $1 for every time I've had a client come to me after spending months, even years with the same therapist, where they're seeing their therapist weekly, sometimes bi-week, not bi-week, double, like twice a week. Okay. And after one session with me, they are shocked at what we unravel, what we uncover, the ahas. The amount of ahas that come in through the sessions blows them out of the water. And they're like, why haven't I learned this in the years or months that I've been with my other therapist? Look, me, I'm not here to waste anyone's time. I know myself, I don't want to be stuck in a healing journey that takes forever. You want results. You want transformation, because here's the thing. Your healing journey should be preparing you to exit so that you can evolve to the next thing in your life, right? This is about evolution. You are always wanting to get stronger, more prepared for the next thing. You don't stay there and just keep peeling back layers and layers and layers, okay, until like you get so exhausted you don't even know what you're healing anymore. So the longer they keep you processing, the longer they keep you paying. So here are some signs where your healer might be keeping you stuck. Okay. And oh my God, I'm going to get so much slack for this, but they will never give you a clear next step. It's just more work to do. And they're not telling you exactly why and what this is going to do for you. Okay. It's more of like a discovery phase. Let's unearth some more things, right? They also will always find a new layer for you to work through. There's another layer. What's under this one? What's under that one? Listen, there are endless layers, endless layers. But the point is that you've got to have an exit point. You need to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You need to be able to see real life transformation, real world transformation in your life happening, right? Another sign is that you never actually feel done. You always feel like you're still in it. There's always one more thing before you're ready. And I'm going to say this and I want you to hear this in your heart, okay? If your healer doesn't have a conscious plan for you to exit healing, they have an unconscious plan to keep you in it. Listen to that one again. Because, again, I will say most healers and therapists are totally coming in with the right intentions, okay? But they don't have an exit strategy. And my work, what I've done in through the process of years and decades of healing is isolated how to get that exit point fastest. And this is how I collapse time. A lot of people have been wondering, Nicole, how do you collapse time around transformation to get me an exit strategy on my healing journey? And truthfully, it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. And so on March 17th, at 6 p.m. Eastern, I am holding a live event, and you want to be at this live event. You want to be at this live event. If you can't, you won't. You'll still get tons of information, and you'll be able to see the demonstrations and everything. But if you're in the live, you may be part of the demonstration. And I am going to show you, I am going to give you guys access to my absolute signature healing method of how I collapse time around your transformation so that your healing journey gets an exit strategy. This is why my clients get such rapid results. This is why I know how to pinpoint exactly what you need to focus on. Okay, 99% of healing methods out there are going to keep you stuck in an endless loop because if you are still doing the work, if you are still processing the same wounds over and over again, if you are still chasing like little breakthroughs that never really fully land, that's not healing. Okay. That's a really poor strategy. And so, how we end all of this stuff is we collapse time. And this is a personal method that no one has taught me this. I have put this together and I am going to teach you guys. I'm going to show you, demonstrate so you can apply it to your life, how to pinpoint your velocity point. The velocity point is the alignment between your body's issues, your mind's issues, and your soul's lessons, okay, to collapse time. And I'm going to go over this in this masterclass. We're going to do hot seat coaching, live demonstrations. I'm going to show you in real time how I do this so that you can finally have an exit strategy to your healing journey. Because if your healing is not allowing you to enjoy real transformation now so that you can start evolving more, I want you to think about this. No financial investor would ever invest in a business or the stock market without knowing what their exit strategy is. Why? Because they'll never see the returns on their investment. You should be seeing returns on your healing investment. It's the exact same thing. Okay. And what usually happens, this is what I do, and this is what a lot of my clients do, is you take that investment and you then put it into the next thing. Okay. That's likely going to compound that investment and get you more transformation. Because here's the thing, as soon as you start feeling your life transforming, you start having the results and everything starts clicking into place and everything starts coming together and your dream reality is actually becoming real. It's like, it's the most exciting thing. It's like, imagine you keep investing money into something and then it makes you money and you're like, oh, wow. And then you're like, well, let me do more of that. And you find another thing. And it's like, and it might be, and this is why some people will stay with a healer or a therapist for good reason, because they're compounding their investment in their healing journey. They're actually getting more and more returns and they're starting to enjoy that and they keep evolving and keep evolving. That's what you should be doing. If you are stuck, if you are not evolving, you are not working with an actual exit strategy in your healing journey. And if your therapist and or your healer can't give you one, you may want to reconsider why you're investing and throwing away money at an endless journey that doesn't give you an exit plan. Okay, so I'm leaving the link in the description below on how I actually collapse time. It's to my healing exit strategy so that you can sign up. It's going to be on March 17th. Okay. And you already will have access to the live. You will have access to the recordings. As soon as you purchase, you are instantly already given access to where the recordings will be. Okay. So you won't have to wait for me to send you a link or all that. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I collapse time around transformation. We're going to find your velocity point, which is the exact intersection between the body, mind, and soul alignment that turns potential into reality. And I'm going to show you exactly how I get my clients undeniable, rapid shifts without years of therapy, without constant energy work, okay, or repeating the same patterns in different ways. All right. This is why the healing exit strategy is the only way for you to ensure your healing journey has a very clear, definitive, and liberating endpoint. It should. So I love you guys. Don't hate the messenger. You know me. I like to call people out. Listen, I'm calling my old self out. Okay. I'm calling my past self out here. So I know what it's like to be in that place. There have been times where I have been the codependent client. And, in the beginning of like all my stuff, sure, I could see some of my own codependent natures as a healer. All right. Way back when I was massaging. But when you understand that the joy comes from the transformation, not helping someone heal, but actually witnessing the transformation. You don't spend your time too long in that healing process. You're like, let's get you your transformation. And that's what it's all about. I get high. I have so much joy. I get off on people transforming. Okay. I love to see the transformation. So if you want to sign up, link is in the description below this video. I love you guys and I will be back here with you next week. Wait, is it the full moon? Is it eclipse? Yes, it is. I'll see you next week on the podcast with Mary Ducina. Do not miss yesterday's podcast. So good. It's one of my favorite podcasts I've done in a very long time. The information in there is so helpful. It will really open your mind. Okay. Really open your mind and it lands very well. I love you guys. Have an amazing night and I'll talk to you soon.